Word?
Go for it.
Okay. Announcement is made that adequate notice of this meeting has been given and that is being conducted in accordance with NJSA 10:4-6 et sec of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Nora, would you please call the roll?
Didich.
Here.
DePiero.
Here.
Dinsmore.
Here.
Hernandez.
Here.
Mandel.
Here.
Mealy.
Here.
Von Aiken.
Here.
We also have our board attorney, Mr. Wenzel.
Here.
Okay. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this meeting is open to the general public. With that in mind, I'll open the meeting up to the general public for any items not on our agenda for this evening. Seeing no one come forward, I'll close the public portion and we'll move on to our agenda items. The first item is a resolution, application number 21:512 for Ravi Patel on 33 Troy Road. I'll leave it at that. Were there any concerns or items to discuss about this resolution? All right, seeing no comments to be made, I'll open it up for a motion.
So moved, Dinsmore.
Okay, motion to accept Dinsmore, correct?
Yep.
All right,
Second, Mealy.
seconded Mealy. Nora, please call the roll.
Before I call the roll, I just want to mention that the reason Mendel cannot vote tonight is because he voted no.
Okay,
Because Steve voted no.
okay, understood. Thank you for that clarification, Nora.
You're welcome. Didich.
Yes.
Dinsmore.
Yes.
Ruggieri. Nope, he's not here. Mandel.
Nope.
Sorry, I meant Mealy.
Yes.
Von Aiken.
Yes. Okay. And then we also have application number 21:507 for the Indian Community Center. Are there any comments to be made about this resolution? All right, seeing none, I'll open that up for a motion.
So moved, Mealy.
All right.
It's gotta be
I didn't.
one of the three that are on there.
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
Oh, Mr. Mealy, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
From being so close to Nora.
That's fine.
And for clarification, Mr. Millie, I didn't say for a motion to accept, so yours is a motion to accept?
Yes.
Okay, and do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, very good. Nora, please call the roll.
Hernandez.
Yes.
Mealy.
Yes.
Von Aiken.
Yes. All right, very good. And last is our agenda item for tonight, application 20:515. Is the applicant present? Yes. Okay, please come forward. All right, I believe your application tonight is for a major soil moving permit. Do you have any other representation, or is it just you for tonight?
Our contractor was supposed to be there.
Okay,
I'll try my best.
okay.
I pretty much know what we have to do, so there's a technical question only we need to ask.
Okay, so,
Let's get his name and, let's get his name and address for the record.
okay. So could you please give your name and address for the record?
Okay, my name is Jatinder Chhatwal, 235 Fox Hill Road, Denville, New Jersey, 07834.
Okay,
Can you please just do us a favor and, spell your name for the record?
Jatinder. Last name Chhatwal.
And are you, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yeah.
Are you the property owner?
My wife, it's under my wife's name,
Okay.
Vimalji. I can spell her name.
Okay.
Vimaljeet.
Okay,
Same last name.
okay. And and your contractor was supposed to be here tonight with you?
Yeah, I mean, he said I'll make it.
all right.
Okay.
We do have an email from your contractor, though, which was presented to the board.
That's not the contract.
That's not the contractor?
This is somebody who wished
Oh.
to
Okay,
Voice
We'll
an
address-
opinion.
I'll-
We'll address that later.
I'll address that later.
Mhm.
okay, thank you.
Do you know, if I can, Chair, do you know if the contractor will be here tonight, or is he just running late?
He's not answering.
Okay, because I would guess, and I don't want to speak on behalf of the board, but I would guess that the board may have some technical questions, which I'm not saying you as the property owner don't know what's going on at your property, sir.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm suggesting, but just that the contractor would probably, because that person has intimate knowledge of how this is
How
gonna be
to
done.
do it, yeah.
Right. Why don't we do this? Mr. Chair, if you want, I see that there may be other members
That's my
here.
son.
Yeah.
That's my son.
So I was gonna deputize one of you to perhaps, while the gentleman is giving us some background of the property, if one of you could perhaps step out and try to call the contractor in the meantime, and then if you can do that,
Yeah.
and then maybe we could just get some preliminary information. We can also address, Chair, when you're ready, I can also address the
Okay,
email.
all right. So first, if you wouldn't mind explaining what the project is and your purpose?
Put him under oath. I'm sorry, sir, I
Okay.
gotta put you on, a little out of order here, sir, but that's all right. I'm sorry, Chair.
No.
Do you swear affirm to tell the truth before this planning board tonight?
Yes, I do. sir.
Okay, we already got your name and address, and I appreciate it. Okay, so,
Okay.
Chair, if you want to,
You want to sit down and use the microphone?
All right. Now, is this property your permanent residence?
Yes.
Okay. Could you tell us a little bit about the project that you have in mind and what you're trying to do?
So on the back of our house, where our lawn ends, we've been living here now for the last 23, 24 years. But every year, there's soil erosion. And since we moved in, I would say at least maybe 1.5 foot of soil has been lost. And because we're on a hill,
Mm-hmm.
our neighbors' rain, water, and everything comes onto our property, and then it just erodes the soil. And on one end, it's really bad. So I've been thinking of this project for a while. So I met this contractor, he looked at it. He's a friend of mine, so he looked at it, he said, okay, this is what we can do. We'd have to put a retaining wall to stop it from going any further. Then he looked at our house survey. He said, well, your property goes way into the woods. So we could go a little bit deeper and make it real nice. And he gave me a whole plan,
Mm-hmm.
like mentally. And we liked it. We said, okay, can we do that? He said, yeah, okay. So we came here February 2020
Mm-hmm.
downstairs. And we met a gentleman downstairs, Mr. Piazza or something like that. And he showed what he wanted to do. He drew it out by hand on a copy of our house survey. And he said, we want to put a lot of dirt here. We're going to dump dirt, and then we're going to put a retaining wall and then a fence on top. So he said, okay, you need to put a $50 deposit, get a retaining wall permit,
Mm-hmm.
fill in this form and put it in. We did, and that's it. So he started the project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, based on that, I mean, I had no knowledge. He brought me here. He said, you should come with me to get this permit because you're the property owner. I said, okay,
Yeah.
let's go. So we did that, and he started the project during COVID. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think trucks were allowed to move. This was maybe May or something. 4 or 5, 6 trucks came in, and then somebody came in from here. He was a road guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, okay, what are you doing? There's so many trucks coming in.
Yeah.
So he said, well, we're dumping dirt. He said, do you have a permit? I was there.
Yeah.
We were all home. I said, yeah, I have this permit. He said, no, this is not the permit. You need a major soil permit.
Yeah. So your permit was for the wall construction?
Just the wall construction.
Not for
Yeah.
the soil
I mean, I
movement
had no
that you were
idea what
doing.
we have to do, what we need. The contractor should have known, like I had no idea. So anyway, so we
Yeah.
stopped, And then everything came to a stop, COVID and all that. So then we started talking to people. I think I talked to Nora.
Mhm.
Actually, there was another lady before her who retired now. She
Okay.
guided me that you need this, this, which was had I known all that, I probably wouldn't have gone through this now.
You're
But-
probably speaking about Karen in engineering.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. She said you need what did we get? Like a civil engineer to prepare something which we have, and then before that, we needed another survey, a fresh survey, because our
Mhm.
survey is obviously 25 years old.
Yeah.
You need a fresh, so, a lot of money involved in all those
Mhm.
things, which I didn't know about. But we kept going in, okay, let's do this. Then, oh, you have to do this, okay, let's do this. Now we're at a stage where we've already spent this, we got to get it done now.
Mhm.
And that's where we stand.
Okay.
The wall is completed at this point?
No. He brought in 4 trucks, which ended up not even going over our property. It's on our property now.
Mm.
Now it's in a worse mess than we were for the last 20 years, because those 4 trucks at one time were like a mountain of dirt. And
Mhm.
his machine was inside when the guy came and stopped it.
Yeah.
So he couldn't even take his machine out. It was a huge one of those bulldozers. There's the machine, mountain of dirt, and that's it, and our driveway. So one day he came, used the machine, and made the dirt flat on our land, but that dirt is supposed to go over. So
Okay.
it's there, and it's a mess right now. The backyard is like, I want to put like black curtains so we don't even see it.
I understand.
Yeah,
All right. So you have dirt on your property right now.
yes,
You also are looking to install a wall.
yes.
Um,
3 walls.
Okay. Okay, these tiers here.
Yes.
Each one being approximately 4 feet high, as indicated on their drawing.
Yes.
And then the idea would be to fill in the,
Yeah.
inside the walls so that you can create
Yeah.
that tiered
So it would
effect.
be, the back wall would be 4 feet,
Mm-hmm,
then there'll be 6 feet, another wall,
okay,
then another 6 feet, then another wall. So
okay,
this was all done by the engineer, I guess he did some calculations, he said. First, initially, we were only, my
Mhm.
contractor said, I'll build 1 wall. He said, that's not gonna hold, because you're talking a lot of dirt, a lot
Mhm.
of pressure, so you have to build 1, then he said, you're gonna have to do 2 for sure. But then when he actually calculated, he said, no, it still doesn't work, you need the 3rd wall.
okay.
So we're gonna need 3 walls to hold that.
And what will you put above the walls? The plantings or
Yeah.
lawn or bushes or,
Yeah, there's a particular kind he mentioned,
okay,
I don't remember now,
all right.
that will go in that 6 feet area,
Mm-hmm,
so there'll be something there.
okay,
And then ultimately, at the end of our property, there'll be a fence, so nobody can fall over.
okay,
But behind there, there's nothing, like
Mhm.
even beyond our property, it's still like a forest jungle area, like.
all right, understood. I'm going to go to our board attorney now, if you would like to discuss the, I'm sorry, before I go to that, is there anything further you want to
No,
bring
I
up?
think that's as much as I know
Okay,
now. Yeah, the walls are gonna be built. What's the technicality, that the guy knows.
okay,
Sir, so just so we're clear, this is about bringing soil onto site, not soil off your site,
No, on the site.
bringing to you.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
And did your contractor indicate to you where he's bringing that soil from?
We were told that you need a certain kind of soil.
Okay, so he's getting the soil, the
Yes.
correct soil that is
Yeah,
needed
yeah.
to compact and put it
Yes.
so that it's secured
I
retaining
think,
wall.
the 4 trucks that came in, or they were gonna come, like whatever, 25, 27, whatever trucks they were gonna, he had the paperwork for that at that time.
And before you indicated that there were some meetings and some information that you had provided to other township officials after the 4 trucks came after you found out you needed some more, information from the township. You shared some other information with the township? You
No.
gave them a new survey? Did you do that?
We gave Nora everything.
Okay,
First we gave it to the engineering department, not this building, the other building.
okay.
And then we gave her some stuff that she asked for. The final stuff that, we needed, we gave it to Nora.
Okay, so is it your understanding that by getting this permit, that this would then allow you to then restart the project to get the wall up and get everything
Yeah.
cleared up?
Yeah.
All right.
It probably won't be done till spring now, but whatever. Yeah.
And Mr. Wenzel, if you could just clarify, since this is just about the soil moving permit, is the nature of the project, which is permitted, part of our discussion for tonight?
With any, application that's only for soil moving permit, what is being done on the site is either permitted or has been permitted by virtue of some township action. So normally what you would see is when you have your major projects, it'll be preliminary and final site plan and a major soil moving permit. We even seen this a couple months ago where somebody had forgotten on a major project. So it's not just you.
Yeah.
On a major project where they had to come in, where they were bringing in much more soil, or removing much more soil. And I think that was even a governmental agency, which had forgotten to do that. So so what is being done on site is not within your jurisdiction at this point,
Okay.
for whatever reason. So the only question that you have
You have
is,
to add one, yes, absolutely.
the only question before you is whether or not, you want to recommend, remember, this is a permit that's issued by the council.
I believe the engineer's
The
report
engineer's-
says that this does not.
Oh, it goes through the engineer? I'm gonna turn the
Yeah.
councilman's nameplate around so they know who he is.
That's by the engineer.
By the
Probably-
engineer, because
Probably
it's,
because of the
minor.
volume, yeah.
Right, because of the volume.
Yeah.
So, but no, it would go back to Mr. Lee's office for his, action. But what's being done there on site is really not
Mhm.
an issue, other than to understand why they need it.
Yeah.
And I think if any of the board members had any questions on that, and I know the gentleman had something else he wanted to add.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, the engineering department already wrote in some paperwork that we have no objection.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be here
That's to the
otherwise.
soil movement, yeah.
Yeah.
And we should make that clear that our business here is regards to the soil movement,
Okay.
not to the walls and everything else that you're doing, which for our purposes, we assume are within the permitted activities of the town. And so if for any reason those are found to not be permitted, you still need to make sure that those are in compliance,
Okay.
okay?
So, but that would be through the engineering, right? Or is there, because I'm still
Yeah.
Through
confused.
Justin's office.
Okay.
Yeah, the engineering.
If this is
Yeah,
approved,
so I
if
just
this is
want you to
approved,
understand.
I don't mean to interrupt, if this is approved, I'll send Justin, the township engineer, a memo letting him know. And then, I guess on his side, he issues a permit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wouldn't want you to take extra steps if you haven't done the other things that are needed,
Right.
based solely on what the decision is here.
Yeah.
Okay? All right,
Any other questions? I'll address
Yeah.
this after any questions.
fair enough. All right, so with that said, are there any questions from the board? No?
Now, if I can, Chair, I think all the board members have in front of them a email that came in.
I
No.
just gave it to you,
You
Jim.
just gave it to me. All right, so you should, right, okay, so that's.
I got one also.
I tell you, Miss Jolie is well versed. I should just give up the law license and give it to her. It's better than most attorneys I know. Probably states something about the company I keep. But in any event, there was an email shared from a neighbor, okay? This email is properly not given to you because it is not evidential. You cannot accept evidence. You sit in a quasi-judicial capacity, which means when people come up and provide testimony, we swear them in, just as we do with the gentleman, and people cannot submit affidavits and letters and things like that. And people try to do that all the time. Now, there are some concerns raised in here, which, if you want to, Chair, I could talk to you about afterwards, and you can communicate to this person that obviously those things in there, the vast majority of them are related. I don't mean to pat my back to the councilman. The vast majority of them are code enforcement related in terms of how the soil movement is going to be conducted. I am convinced that between Mr. Lee's office at the engineer and through our code enforcement department, they're going to keep an eye on the project. There is one thing that I think should be, if the board was inclined to be in favor of this permit, that the soil brought onto site, and I think the gentleman already indicated this, that it'd be appropriate for the soil used for retaining wall, that it be non-contaminated soil. I'm sure the gentleman would like to have non-contaminated soil.
Absolutely.
I don't think anybody is looking for it to glow at night. So I think that is something that, if you were inclined to approve this permit, I'm sure that would be something that I'm sure Mr. Leza would be aware of as the long-term engineer for the township, but also I think it addresses somewhat of the neighbors' concern. And like I said, the vast majority of what's in here is really code enforcement, which would be outside your jurisdiction in any event. So I just want to make you aware of that, make the applicant aware of that, and I'm sure you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, so our decision is really just about whether or not you're allowed to move the soil on. And then, of course, there are enforcement issues about whether or not you use the right soil or not. So that's something that there will be some follow-up regarding that. But
Mr. Chairman?
yes, Mr. Mandel.
I'm just, for clarification, I'm sure everybody wants non-contaminated soil, but that falls under Justin's department, right? Justin Lee's department, that he would
confirm
he
that
would
was
ask,
done correctly.
he would inquire as to where the soil was coming from and so forth. That's under his jurisdiction, not under ours.
100%, Mr. Mandel. I mean, if for whatever reason you wanted to include that
No, that's why I was
in the
asking.
resolution,
No.
I mean, it's somewhat superfluous.
Okay.
It's not somewhat superfluous,
I recognize
it's
it's
either-
superfluous, but it would be nice to see in the resolution that the
Yeah.
applicant agrees to work with the engineers department on making sure that the soil being put in is appropriate and clean.
Ensure there's a receipt and, all
Yes.
those types of things.
I'm sure the applicant would agree to that as
Yes.
being a condition of approval.
Because we know nothing. If we can get the help of the township, because let's say the contractor says, yeah, it's what you're supposed to have. If the township can confirm, yes, this is right, at least we can sleep better.
Okay. So, are there any other questions from the board? Does the board have any questions about what they're voting on tonight? Or what the motions might be? Okay, well, if that's the case, is there anything else you would like to present, sir? All right, well then, is the board ready to provide a motion? I'll open it up.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Mealy, go ahead.
a motion to approve application number 20:515, Bimaljit Chatwal, 235 Fox Hill Road, Block 98, Lot 18.02, major soil moving permit with the condition specified by the board attorney regarding soil.
Thank you for the motion. Do we have a second?
Second Mandel?
Mandel with the second. Nora, would you please call the roll?
Didich,
Yes.
DePiero,
Yes.
Dinsmore,
Yes.
Hernandez,
Yes.
Mandel,
Yes.
Neely,
Yes,
Von Aiken.
Yes. All right, sir, your soil moving permit has been approved, so thank you for working with us
Thank
and participating.
Thank you.
Yes. You
Best
should
of
have a
luck.
very interesting conversation with your contractor.
He may not be our contractor.
Have a good night.
Yes, take care, sir.
This is a good experience. I've seen it on TV, but never been.
It's not as exciting live.
Yeah.
We prefer it that way.
More dramatic.
Okay.
Good night, good night.
All right. With that said, are there any members of the board that have any other business to present tonight?
Other than a motion to adjourn?
Seeing none, I will open it up to a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Mandel, motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded by Dinsmore. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily think it was my verbiage for the condition. I think